Hi, everyone. My name is Abhay. My goal today is that 15 minutes from now, you'll have a clear picture of how to wrap an autonomous software engineering system around your code base and enable your team to work with increased velocity and leverage. I'll share how we do it at Factory to have Droid, our agent, improve itself, and which makes this loop one practical answer as well to continuous learning at a systems level. For a little more context, Factory is a platform for agent-native software development powered by Droid, our general-purpose coding agent. And we help enterprises and teams build their software factories. Cool. You might find that with agents, writing code has become very fast, but engineering velocity has not necessarily kept up at the same pace. Just because you can ship a PR in minutes doesn't mean that products are necessarily getting better, even if there's a backlog of hundreds of PRs that build up over time. Part of the issue is that although code is written quickly, it may not always be written correctly, or even if it works, it's not written in the way that you want it to work, as well as maybe things are being done that just shouldn't be done. You yourself and your teams know what good looks like, but that judgment and that taste doesn't really scale right now across agents. To compound this issue, with AI, there's more to build than ever. And we feel this ourselves with new models, new surfaces, new platforms, new integrations, and all sorts of customer requests coming in every week. Timelines are compressed. What used to ship in a month now ships in a week, and expectations are also rising as a result. So the reason engineering velocity as a whole across teams has not really kept up with the change in coding pace is because the bottlenecks have now moved. No longer coding, it's now noticing noticing what's broken. It's noticing what's happening in production. It's deciding what to prioritize and what matters. And finally, it's actually validating that code changes are doing things that are good. So to this end, I'll propose an autonomous signal-to-fix loop over a code base that we've been running internally at Factory, where you have agents on every stage of like a PR lifecycle, addressing these new bottlenecks. I'll walk through how we run it on Factory's own code, and the pattern is pretty general and works on whatever you're shipping. So this is what an autonomous signal-to-fix loop looks like. You would probably all be familiar with this loop. You start with detection, detect issues, triage them, execute fixes, validate them, merge and deploy, and then monitor in production for impact. Most teams and most people have invested primarily in the execution phase, where you have very capable coding agents write PRs and that claim to fix issues. However, what you can actually do is put agents on every stage of this loop. And that addresses bottlenecks around noticing what's happening. No longer does an engineer have to manually read logs and just hope to catch all the issues. You notice you'll address bottlenecks in triage. You'll address bottlenecks in validation and monitoring as well. Each of these actions can be autonomous, and the only place we found where human action is still needed and extremely important is to approve PRs and make sure that take ownership over code changes. At Factory, we've set up these loops across various input and output surfaces, including, say, like different metrics, logs, telemetry, etc. I'll talk in particular about Signals, our online evaluation system, as our input source, and how we use this loop to optimize Droid autonomously against production issues, and so that, as per like the ways users are using it today. Signals does detection, Droid files tickets, puts up PRs, and merges them. I'll go into more detail. All right. There are two common ways to understand agents in production. Observability and product analytics can tell you what's happening at a macro level, but they can't necessarily tell you how a user feels. You might see a session with 100 messages, 60 tool calls, a PR at the end of it, and on paper, that looks like a successful session. But what those metrics are hiding is that in the middle of that session, that user had to escalate tone 3 times because the agent was making assumptions instead of asking questions. To us, that's considered a catastrophic failure. On the other hand, offline evals will catch such issues, but they only catch issues that you already know to look for. Plus they're static, expensive to run, and hard to update. Signals is a private online eval system that fills in both these gaps. We run Signals as a daily batch pipeline where we have LLM judges read sessions and write 3 structured findings we found to be quite valuable, including friction, delight, and facets. At a high level, friction captures moments where the user had to fight the product to get their work done, even if they did manage to get the work done. This could include something like repeated rephrasing, context churns, or just using wrong defaults. Delight, on the other hand, is when the product earned the user trust. Typically, this is when the agent worked better than the user expected, either faster or came up with better solutions. For instance, when it one-shot something the user expected to have to iterate on. Finally, we have facets, which capture what the work was. What was the user's intent? What work were they doing? And what was the outcome of that work? We also understand a little bit more about the environment in which they're working, like what's the tech stack and languages that they're working with. These signals are run, captured, stored, and then shared with the team, for instance, in a Slack daily digest. And each signal also contains evidence and citations back to the original session so that all future analysis is grounded. These citations are typically labels or short paraphrased excerpts, but never quotes. And finally, whenever we do any analysis, rows are aggregated so that no one session can leak privacy and move decisions. And patterns emerge once there's enough distinct sessions to pass the threshold. Through this system, we know which friction patterns correlate with abandonment, for instance, without anyone at factory reading a single user conversation. What we found, which is kind of cool, is that over time, Droid has discovered patterns that were previously unknown to us. It's discovered things that we didn't even think to check. Some of these are here, but as an example, we'll see like branch switches were noted as an important facet to record, and we found that it actually correlates quite strongly with worse outcomes in sessions as the agent gets whiplash between different environments. Similarly, context churn is a leading indicator of session abandonment. And a lot of these were found through clustering by giving the agent enough flexibility in its taxonomy as well to add to it through this pipeline too. Once we have enough sessions and enough signal to see a pattern, we have Droid triage it. To do this, we dispatch droids with a signal analysis skill, which effectively just turns it into its own data scientist, and with an understanding of how to work with the database to cluster the friction. It uses agentic search, like agentic scripts and analysis as it deems fit, and finds issues. Then dedupes and evaluates those issues against open tickets, PRs, and existing work. Once an issue is deemed to be unknown, files a new ticket, routes it to the correct owner, and with suggested priorities and labels. As an example, we found in the past this ticket where tools were timing out too often, leading to churn, where the agent would call a tool, it would time out, and have to recall it, leading to wasted time and cost. And in general, we found that these tickets are fairly actionable. So there's work to do. Cool. So once we have a ticket, a droid is dispatched from the linear delegation surface, and it puts up a PR with a fix. This is known, so I'll spend a little less time on it. Generally, it pulls the context from the ticket, understands the code base, RCAs, and puts a fix and adds regression tests. Our PR process includes skills for creating PR and fixing PRs so that the droid always does at least one validation and review pass on its own, and ensures that all CI, including build, typing, linting, and our full test suite is passing. However, we found that this is not sufficient validation for a droid to autonomously ship code, because an agent should not be validating its own work as it's biased by its implementation. When it writes a test, it will not write tests to catch what it's supposed to be doing. Rather, it writes tests to confirm the code it's already written. So to account for this, we've set up multiple gates for QA and review that all need to pass before a human even looks at this, so that we can keep humans' time at higher leverage. Most of these PRs that come up can be auto-mergeable, but it's not obvious which ones are. So a human still needs to be involved here. This suite consists first of regression tests and evals. So tests are standard. On the evals, we coevolve our evals over time as agents work in production and build synthetic sessions over real failure cases, as well as run some A/B tests and side-by-side comparisons. Following that, a second, we have code review. This is probably much more known, where a separate agent needs to adversarially review the code without context of the implementation necessarily, like without having done the implementation, to check for correctness, convention, etc., but also for intent, to ensure that the PR actually does what it claims to do, and then it solves the issue that it claims to solve. Proceeding after that, we move to security review, which, as you've all seen this week, is extremely important, where we have multiple agents run stride and OWASP passes on every diff and check for issues. Fourth, we move to end-to-end QA. This is the most time-consuming and most important part of this process, where for every product surface touched by the change, we have multiple agents spin up the actual product and interact with it and test it the way a user would. So for instance, in our TUI product, this means that Droid spins up an actual TUI and types messages and works through a problem a way a user would for all the patterns that were touched by the code change. This ensures that there's no user-facing regressions, and this only passes once everything is like working as expected. Once all this is done, we'll move to human approval. At this stage, the human need not necessarily check for little bugs, and they can be fairly sure that the code works and does what it claims to do. So we found in our team, at least, that this stage human review typically consists of product level review. Like, is this doing something we want to be doing at all? Is this a PR we even want to merge? Or is the feature we want to ship or a fix that's the correct? Or it's more at a design and architecture review of like, is this code in the right place, in the right scope? Once the human reviews, we have a more standard just merge and deploy process with Droids managing the release process through automations. What this unlocks is that the path from users being frustrated with something in the product to that thing being fixed now happens very quickly and often without anyone even noticing. So no longer is it a bottleneck of an engineer has to notice there are problems, QA and reproduce, and then prioritize it. You can just have fixes shipped to users. Once shipped, we monitor with signals as well and ensure that the fix actually worked. In one case, for instance, we found very clearly a 30% drop over 2 days in a very high severity repeated rephrasing friction pattern. So we've learned a few things through this whole process. To start, actually, a lot of these PRs are solving edge cases and are quite auto-mergeable, especially ones that are more clear-cut and obvious. Over 70% of these can be auto-merged in the sense of a human would review it, say it looks good to me, and no need for further comments. There's also, of course, we've discovered a few interesting user behaviors through friction and delight analysis, but the primary headroom still remains in these more open-ended, subtle cases that are not auto-mergeable. And that typically is because either the issue itself is hard to diagnose, it's hard to RCA, or the environment is too specific to reproduce cleanly, or it might be that the problem is quite open-ended and there's many ways to address that. And an agent might have a slightly different approach than the product owner would like. For instance, we found that agents tend to be quite verbose when tuning prompts, whereas we ourselves have found that less is often more. So, and since these auto-mergeable cases are not immediately obvious just at first glance and do require review, human judgment, oversight, and governance are still extremely important. But the human team now gets to focus a lot more on the policy at each stage of what needs to be done at what stage and to what standard, and what are actually the standards at which code is shipped. More automations land every month, so we expect these numbers to go up. Cool. So at Factory, we build and ship this autonomous engineering system powered by Droid. But I hope you see that any software product or system can actually run this loop. All you need, most teams already have whatever's needed to do this, starting with input, whether it's your any observability systems like telemetry, logs, or metrics as input can start this loop. and then focusing on building validators like tests, evals. All of Factory's review and QA suite is also generally available in the product, so you can use what we are using through like slash commands like install QA, install review, install security review, and more will keep coming. But yeah, if you can run this loop on whatever software, and you'll see that whatever metric you're optimizing for will improve, and this advantage compounds over time, leaving your team to focus on more interesting and higher leverage problems, and while shipping faster. Thank you.